Well, hey, folks, it's that time again for your daily vitamin M, vitamin Mike on a live. Just beautiful evening. Beautiful evening. Got the plumbing done today. Was very happy about that. My plumber came. He would work on one thing, I'd work on another thing. We got it wrapped up before noon. He gave me a cheap price. Not a leak, not a drip, no more water lines in the attic anymore. Everything has been taken care of, and I love it. I like it when it's easy. I may be 59, but I ain't dead yet. Still climb up in here. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You really get a view from up here. That's what Helene did. Knocked that fence over. Fence is under all that ivy, and that is a pecan tree overtaken by ivy. And you can see all the down trees back there. We're coming up on a year, the 27th, and you still have evidence of the damage all around. Shoot, I still got my stump in the yard. Still got it there. This old girl pulled it right out of the ground. That's what I call a real truck. Hey, pale girl. Hey, Christy. Thank you, Christy. I'm glad to hear that. Welcome aboard. We like to talk about everything. Cover all the subjects that some people don't want to cover. But look at that. So green. That's one thing I like about Georgia in the east. It's not all dried up like out west. I grew up out west, and the west is beautiful, but I like the green myself. I don't like all that dried up stuff. Been having fun doing shorts today. I like it when I get good music and get in a vibe. That's always fun to do. Always fun to do. Hey, Fred. Hey, Derek. Everybody's lining up for a good time of chat and video. It's really happy. My plumber, true definition of a good Southerner. Short, squat, 70 years old, solid muscle and still going strong. He does copper, galvanized, and PVC. And I've gone over to PVC because the galvanized in this house. A couple of years ago, my water line went and I replaced it all. I taught myself to do it. And it really made my day because everything has just been going wrong and for a long time. And I had ran new lines. I had cabineted them off and had them all behind, where they're concealed. And he hooked up to the old pipes behind the new bathroom. And the pipes I put in, he hooked to the old metal ones. I went and got my grinder, cut them off so he could tap in and unscrew. Tell you, he's got some stuff that works. And soak that penetrating fluid, and he unscrews it and he put a new screw with the PVC fittings. We turned everything on, not a drip in the house. All the hot water lines and cold water lines are under the ceiling, all concealed, all accessible. And now I won't be getting that scalding hot water in the summer running out of the faucet in the kitchen to the bathroom, or the freezing cold in the winter. The water will always be room or house temperature. And I'll show you what I did because you can't see it, but I can walk you through it. This is a slab. The whole house is cement floor. And when the pipes go, and this is the 1953, that is a problem. That is a big problem. So what I did was I ran everything up here, and I built my own housing for it with screws, so you can open it and access it at any point. And I just made it go down, and I had it run right inside the wall here, right behind the tub, the sink, and the toilet, and hooked it right in. And now everything's in-house because it gets cold here in the winter, not like Minnesota, but I did quite a thing here. Brought the water line, well, I'll show you from the start. Brought it in from the outside. And a plumbing company wanted to get in here and do jackhammer to this. And I thought, oh, hell no, we're not doing all that. Thousands and thousands of dollars. That's going to be hard to see because I still got to rig up a light in here. But I had it drilled into the porch, a good inch in diameter hole. We went a 3/4 inch. And all I did was do this. I'm gonna seal up these walls, but I'm gonna build a cabinet. We got a shut off now, so I can shut it off there to work on the house, which is beautiful because you had to go out to the meter box and I don't have a key. And all I did was run it down and in through the kitchen. You can't see very clearly, but I boxed it all in professionally. There are ways around stuff, and it does not violate code. But the plumbing outfit didn't want to do it because they don't like to deal with stuff. They like to go into a new building where everything's open and lay plumbing. They don't like working on these houses. So it forced me to do it. So I had the water come in the kitchen, and I had it come in down here where this baseboard mold is. And I had it come in, and because this wall has gas lines and everything, all I did was fur it out another 2 inches with 2x2s. And then I did this. I channeled the cold water just like this. Comes in through the kitchen, attaches to here, and it did attach to a pipe that went up to the attic to take it to the back bathroom. Today I cut that off and capped it. And then we go up and over in the box, straight through this room, and all the way. And right here. And then I have access panels, an upper and a lower to get the back side of the tub here. And that goes to the water heater. So I built all this. I did everything in here. I restored the cabinet, hung this myself. I put in this window. I actually had finished everything, and then I ripped open the wall and installed this so that you have an emergency escape if there's a fire out the room. This is technically a bedroom. This was the utility room, and I gutted it and redid it. But I did this, and I did a steel or an iron pipe because I hate stupid, cheap poles that bend when you get too many clothes. I did a shelf. I did the ceiling and tongue and groove, and I did all this myself. A lot of this was leftover stuff, and I had fun. Saved a 100-year-old door. Paid $10 for it and sanded it, scuffed it, and put a varnish on it. But this is fun. And then I went into this bathroom. This was a job, man, I'll tell you. And when you're not a professional, you have to teach yourself real quick. So that's the hot water line that I installed. And I installed it to come down here. And today he hooked up this one. I got to fur it out like this, put furring, and I'm going to take the copper clamp it so it's stationary. Then I got to get a cabinet for this sink right there. And that'll be a nice sink. This was what was in there, but it's got a chip. Right, where is the chip? Right here. I may put that on for sale. Somebody will buy it. And I did all the backsplash. I installed it with the adhesive. Then I'm going to caulk it up. And I'm going to caulk all around the tub, and then the shower can be used in here. And I boxed this in just to lower the ceiling. And I did some interesting things. This was a 2x6 wall. A lot of rotten damage because toilet overflow or whatever, and they just water everywhere. And the toilet pipe. But I'm going to close this wall in, and I made some cubbies. I'll have a hinged mirror here where you can look at your face and shave. And when you got limited bathroom space like this, hey, Mr. E-Rock, when you got limited bathroom space, I did this, and I'll put little shelves in here. And you can put all your toiletries all the way up your ceiling, shampoo bottles, Listerine, toothpaste, and I did the cold water line up here. I did all the work myself. Not a drip, not a leak. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. When you're working on something and you have this PVC, I think it was this board here before I had the light up, and I set it and it dropped and it severed that. Oh my gosh, the water gushed everywhere. I went out in the entryway, turned it off, had to clean up the mess. I tell you what, pain in the butt. But I'll tell you what, it makes you feel like a hero when you learn to do it yourself and you stop and look back and go, I just saved myself buku money by not having a bunch of clowns come in here and charge me thousands of dollars. So, and I even made everything to match. You can get in there, and that's where the hot water and the cold water line, and it tees off and comes right around to the other side and runs all the way. So I can access the water line pretty much anywhere if there's ever a problem. You know what? I'm old, hunt the back. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be involved with code and permits. And I don't know how to charge people. A lot of stress. I'd rather work for somebody I don't want to deal with taxes and all that crap. I should start my own business, but I don't know. It's not as easy as it's cracked up to be. And I did this room myself, everything. Sheetrocked it, molded it out. I did my own crude, simple mold. Those things were cheap. That's rough pine. If you run your fingers on it, you're going to fistful of slivers. And I did my famous rooftop sloped, arched molding with the overhang. Even though it's not totally oriental, I like the overhang with the ends like the Shinto temple thing. I can't curve it up, but I just did the overhang to put my trademark in the house. This was a deco dresser I bought for $70. I did a light sand and a varnish on it, and it came out beautiful. That's a 1930s deco dresser. Hey, Packy, how are you? Thank you. And I learned little tricks with caulking. Now, I didn't do it in here because I used the mud, and I did my own mudding in here, and I didn't use sanders on poles. I don't believe in making a mess. I tried to spread it clean so when it dries, I didn't have to knock nubs off. But if there were, when it dried, I just take the big old fan-shaped spatula and I just run it lightly and knock the dust catchers off and then paint it. But yeah, it's been a labor of love and cussing, folks. A labor of love and cussing. Well, thank you, Mr. E-Rock. Thank you. That's good, Packy. TikTok, to me, I never got on it. It started out for little girls, and I noticed that it's women are more on TikTok than the guys are. That's just my observation. YouTube has been my home since 1919. Oh boy, we didn't even have YouTube in 19 whatever. But I started in 2011 on YouTube, my former channel, many moons ago. TikTok sucks. It's all it is now is hairspray and stupid stuff and girls with no bras, just like reels on Facebook. YouTube is more serious. It's more documentaries and some good stuff. Wow, Packy, that sounds interesting. Hey, soldier. YouTube has a broader reach. Ugh. But glad I got that project knocked out. I have a very good plumber. He's a true Southerner, and he always calls me boy. All right, boy. And I told him about what happened with my job. And he looked me in the eye and he said, "You did nothing wrong. You told the truth. That place always had problems, and they're never going to solve the problems because they don't want to deal with it." He said, "You'll get a job." He said, "You're not stupid." I said, "It bothered me." He goes, "Don't matter. They can't handle the truth over there." He said, "Everything you said is the truth." You know, boy, I need to call him. I need to call him because it's been a few days. Yeah, I think YouTube started the shorts to come back to TikTok and Facebook Reels and all that. Oh, that was a while. I don't know. Storming. I'll tell you what, the power grid around here is very fragile. It was out for a while, too. Yeah, I need to call him. What I want to know is where is Bridge? I know she's battling her own health issues from time to time. I love it when she's in here because she's very entertaining for sure. Oh, was he just in here? I didn't even see him. I must have missed that. Mom, where are you? No, no. I don't think she's still camping. There you are, Mob. I'm sitting here talking about you. Did you hear that? Yeah, Mom, I got all that plumbing done today, man. It's done. This whole house has all new plumbing finally. Selena, how are you, girl? Yeah, figured downtime. Let's get some of this crap done. Get it done. Oh, I'm gonna rest a minute. I'm not gonna go to sleep on you. I've been kind of going today. Oh, man, I used that grinder blade. I got a new grinder disc, and just cutting those three metal pipes, boy, it just eats that down so fast. Those things, I'll tell you, they just don't hold up. I'm not going to sleep. Hello, Teresa. How is Teresa? Oh, I've had a grinder in here, but I had a new disc for it, and I put it on today, and boy, it ate through that just to do three cuts on that old galvanized 3/4. I did. Today was good, Jeffrey, because I got something done. Hey, Lemon, how are you? Welcome aboard. Good to see you, man. That's good, Teresa. Tyler, how are you? Jeffrey, what's new? Doggy! Woof! Doggy cracks me up. Every time I see Doggy, I just picture, and he just jumps into the room and sits there. Doggy. Oh, she come through it okay, Tyler? You know I'm just messing with you, Doggy. You know I got to do that. You and Fish the other day were the entertainment in the room. Fish trash. That's funny. Where's Fish? Did you scare him off? Well, Jeffrey, I hear you there. We all trying to get our life together, man. Well, today was a good day. You know, when I cranked that water valve on, I just did a little bit. I had all the faucets open. And I told him, I said, I'm not reefing this on. Because, man, that air comes out. Because what I did is when I drained everything an hour before he came, I opened everything so it just dribble out. And I open every faucet. I'm in the back tub and I hear gluck, 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 gluck. And the kitchen, it's running. And I'm like, good. Because I got to do cuts and I don't need water coming out of all the pipes up there. But when you first turn on the water, hey, Boondocks, welcome. Fish, just a little pissant. Well, thank you, Lupe. Thanks for the sub. Her dad. Wow, that's good, Tyler. Yeah, I understand, Jeffrey. We need to pray for you then. Lord, we just pray that you help Jeffrey to find work. It's tough when you're on the skids, and we pray that you'd have somebody show him mercy and give him a job so he can get back up and going again. And just pray, God, that you'd open a door of opportunity for him soon. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Well, thank you, Alex. Well, we got to pray, man, because I don't want to say that's all we can do. That's everything we should do. And I was blessed today because you turn on the water and I turned the valve just a little bit to shut off and I heard the lines hissing and I did it very slight. And I came in and you could hear the hiss and and it was just better than just opening it because what it does, it goes, I don't want it to break stuff. So hissed all the air out of the lines and then the water started to trickle and spurt and trickle and spurt. We let it run for a good 3-4 minutes. And when the water solid and we cranked it open, it was pure gold, man. No leaks, no drips. God is good. I'll tell you what, I don't like playing with plumbing because if something goes wrong, water everywhere. But today was flawless. I buttoned up the paneling and the shiplap and covered everything up and cleaned up. They say we're going to have a cold, drier winter this year. I'm ready. I don't have to worry about freeze in the attic. One day I'm going to crawl up in there and cut up all that stuff and haul it out. I hate going to that attic. I should bring this video up there and do a video up there. You guys would just die. It's so low and it's crazy up there. I hate it. That is no man's land. I miss the Minnesota attics, man. You could stand up in them. This is too low slung. You can't do anything in there. Amelia, oh my gosh, where have you been? Welcome back. Wow, Max, that's no fun. Man, I hate it when people get ugly about my views. Those are just conversations that you just feel like crap after. Oh, yeah. Well, I moved the laundry room from the utility room, which is now a bedroom, to the lower slab of the old back porch. They had closed that in. It's perfect. The washer ever blows or the water heater blows, it'll run out the door. Really, Amelia, where are you again? You told me. Jeffrey, I got a plan of attack. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'm not going to get a lot done. If I can find a day work, something to do for 20 bucks an hour, I'll do it just to grab some extra cash. You were missing longer than Amelia Earhart. Indiana, that's right. PB&J, how are you? Well, this morning was fun, man. Jeffrey, I got to. I've hit the skids, but guess what? You can burn down the city, but I will be the phoenix rise from the ashes. I will. I may get down. I may be in the side of the ditch laying there for a minute. But when I get up, it's time to get up. Go Hoosiers! You got a bus there, Jeffrey? Man, I used to take the bus in Colorado and Duluth, Minnesota, and it worked. I made it to work on time all the time. I'm not ashamed. The bus was the way to go back in the 80s, 90s. Problem is, I can't get it out of the bed. That doesn't have a dumper on it, and it's high up. If they put real heavy stuff in there, I can't push it out. If I had like a little crane on the back of that truck, I'd lift that stupid stump up, set it in there, go down to the dump, and just lift it off and dump it. That thing's going to be a pain in the butt to cut because there's sand and dirt all in it. And you put a blade on there with a chainsaw, it's going to tear it up. Oh, you in the swamp. Where are you at again, Jeffrey? Bob, did you do a video? Oh, no, you're talking at the once. Yeah, we had a thick bunch of people in here for a minute. Northern Ontario. I didn't know Ontario had swamp. Hey, Jerry Berry. Wash the stump off with a hose. You know, now you're onto something, Ruth. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. I should get a spigot on that thing. With the setting, it just... Man, Ruth, why does it take a woman to tell me something? I'm pretty smart, and you just thank you. That's a great idea. That's a great freaking idea. Are you ready for some football? Because we run the world. Well, it seems like it, don't it? Yeah, Doc, what made that go from 800 to 30? What was all that? Was that school kids? Shoot, why don't you, Jeffrey? You can make good money in the oil fields. Hi, Cassie, like Casey. Welcome. Hello, Lupe. Chicks run the world from behind the scenes. Behind every good man is a good woman. Is that what it was? When I took the choker off, is that what did it? Doggy, you got to understand Doggy. Doggy likes nipples. He's constantly wanting to be flashed. the choker. I'm a joker. I play midnight poker. I remember Noah telling everyone, you better get ready, for the rain is going to come. But nobody listened to a word he have to say. And the rain came and washed the sinners away. There you go. Different choker. I got this from a girl at the club one night. I said, I like your heart choker. And she took it off. She goes, it's yours. I said, what? She goes, I just wear it. You can have it. I said, all right, thank you. Who's got a beer open? Hi, Len. I was wondering if a barefoot lady was going to come walking in here with no shoes on again. At least her feet don't stink. And she didn't even let me give her a massage last night. You got beers? Anybody got any Johnsonville brats? Doggy likes Johnsonville brats. I'll tell you what, nothing beats a good grill with that stuff. Jalapenos and cheddar on an open fire. Barefoot ladies nipping at my toes. Many times, anywhere. Da, 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 da. Mike, stick to your day job. Don't sing no more. I don't drink, believe it or not, comic. Hello, Paulo. How are you? All right, be nice now. No getting mean in the room. Amelia, so what's been going on? I like hearts too. So I wore this one. We got all kinds of stuff in here, man. All kinds of stuff. How about this from a lady that I worked with when she was at the flea market? This is kind of cool. This is ceramic, square beads. That's pretty cool. I think she charged a couple bucks for that. I had some of these from Hong Kong with the mahjong tiles. And in Colorado, so dry, that snapped. So mad. These things don't hold up in dry country. Put on all my rings and blings. I have always wanted to be an elephant. Penny Lane, da 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 da, da 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 da. Shoot, I got all kinds of stuff in here. Where's my money necklace? Where is my money? Money! Da 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 da. Oh my gosh, my hair becomes my own problem. There we go. I actually made this thing from 2 necklaces. Walmart used to have this stuff, and they don't carry this stuff no more. So I just chained two together to make it go around my neck. Do I support LGBT? No. I'm not into LGBT stuff. Not at all. Michael is totally into women. Hey, Liv, how are you? All right, I got to zero in. Wow, look at that pretty picture. Liv is cute. Wow, that's the first time I looked in close. Got to check out all the ladies. Hello, Talking Tom. I'm all right. Lynn Vega, she's giving me 3 stars, man. 3 stars. Y'all remember swag lamps? Remember how they used to be hung from the ceiling with one of these? I got that at Michael's. Now, this will be fun. See if I can see the... There it is. This thing used to be gold color, but the gold is wearing off because it's cheapo. I have more kids on the bus in Denver. Man, where'd you get that chain? I said at Michael's. Michael's? The craft store? I said, yeah. They thought it was real gold and everything. I said, no, I think I spent $5 on it. Swag lamp chain, man. It works. I just use whatever. You don't have to spend big money on jewelry. Why? What is the point? What is the point? Hey, doggy, I found your dog bell. All right, which one of you ladies is going to get in the motorhome with me and go on a trip? Anybody? I need a lady to accompany me. We'll go take a little trip. This is actually, looks like bicycle chain. I like this one. My hair is a nuisance to get to the back of these things. That thing's pulling my hair. I don't, Lynn. I'm a no drug guy. I never got into that. A lot of people think I smoke pot because of the length of my hair. I don't know why. I guess they say I look like a pothead, man. No, I'm just weird, different, and unusual. All right, nobody want to take me up on the motorhome. And no, we're not going on Carnival. Anybody want to go on a cruise? That's fun, isn't that fun? Nice little bathtub toy. Len would be, you have to stay at home. You're a criminal. What? No, you're not. Okay, I didn't do it. Lynn Stock. All right, Liv, are you single? We're going to go right down the list here. Who's single and available? Who needs a man? Mike, that's really tacky. But it's chat. You can do these things. You got to have fun. At least I'm not one of these, you know? Hey, doggy, you paying attention? Love, exciting and new. La da da. The Love Boat. You got no more pizza. It is hard to date. It's freaking dangerous today. You know, if you want to be spun around and tore up and go through drama, yeah, I'd have them all, but shoot. Whatever happened to normal? Just normal. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy. And this ring is stuck on my swelled up, sweaty finger. All right. Yeah, they got it off. All right. That's awesome. I think I found the smallest flask ever. This is glass. I found this in the yard. Check this out. I got to clean it off better. Look at the size of this thing. That has got to be the teeniest. It's got some yard dirt in it. Every time it rains, where the old oak tree was, stuff comes up out of the ground. I got an old Sprite bottle, the top of a cookie jar, and I got a cow in here that came out of there. This stuff just comes out of the ground. People used to throw their trash out the door here. This thing is in good shape. It's not even cracked or chipped. Old salt or pepper shaker. Look at that. With the stopper. This was all the way underneath the dirt. And every time it rained, I'm like, maybe I ought to dig down there. What would you do if there's a big old pirate chest in there with rubies, emeralds, and gold coins? Well, guess what? I ain't telling nobody. Somebody said if you find antique treasure on your property, you can't have it. You want to make a bet? It's mine. If this stuff is in my yard, I ain't telling nobody. I'll find a way to cash it in and say, booyah. What happened to it went to the shrinkinator. Yeah, soldier. Is that a perfume bottle, Boondock? They really make them that tiny? Look at this. I don't know if I showed some of you guys this. You guys want to see something wild? My pastor at the Assembly of God church that I was going to during COVID, nice guy, and he passed away. But he gave us these. Look in there. That's a mustard seed. Jesus said, if you have faith, and that's my damaged finger from a workplace injury years ago. If you have faith as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move and be cast into the sea. Look at the size of that. You think Jesus was saying something about our faith? We don't have it. That's tiny. That is a mustard seed, folks. You mean Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine? Man, some of them old vans were cool. Some of the old Ford and Dodge vans back in the day, those were totally tight. I didn't think they made a perfume bottle that tiny, though. There's no way to deliver it out of there. These are from Taiwan, or made in Taiwan, Republic of China. Heat and leak proof, unbreakable, durable, and colorful, stylish. Specialist of bamboo plate. These are bamboo. I don't think I'd put them in the microwave, though. These are just cool. I like that stuff. Hi, Gerald. Hey, Selena. I wondered what happened to you. Selena's another pretty lady, too. Very, very pretty. And no, Michael's not working it, but hey, you gotta at least try. I think it'd be awesome to find somebody from the channel that was a keeper. I got a dang sundial that this goes to. The sundial's in the closet. This is the sundial. It goes on a pivot there, and you set it up properly, and it tells what time it is. This is my Oprah ring that I found. And this I got when I lived in Hong Kong. Got weird birds and almost looks like folk art, but it's Chinese stuff. Perfume sampler being that small, no applicator but the glass topper. I should. Got to be careful though. You plunge it in, there might be something underneath there that's worth something. Of course, I don't know. Being that it was in this neighborhood, I doubt there's anything of value under there. Because, you know, anybody knows something of value in this neighborhood, they're going to grab it. They wouldn't have thrown that out. I've always thought it'd be fun to find treasure. The real deal. Oh, I'm sorry, Gerald. I hope you get better. No, I don't. They're decorative only. I got all kinds of odds and ends. I just like I'm not into creepy crap, but I like cool stuff, odd stuff. I bought that at the flea market from a lady who lived in the DR, and that was off her car. I think I got this for less than $10. I thought, I gotta have this. I really want one of these from the Philippines. They're a little bit longer than this. I got a few state license plates off of trucks, but really, Steve, now that's awesome. That is really awesome. Did y'all hear that? Love, you can find it on YouTube. Just don't do it on Facebook. They said 3,500 divorces 1 year due to Facebook. Yeah, Gerald, we need to pray for you. Lord, we pray for Gerald, whatever he's got, that you would heal him and make him well, keep him safe. We just pray that you put your healing hand on him in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, that's awesome, Steve. I went all the way to Hong Kong for a girl, and that was an epic fail. But as my cousin says, I got to go to Hong Kong, so all was not lost. Ruth, how are you? And welcome. Hey, doggy, you still in the house? Doggy, are you paying attention? Why? Because she was looking for a visa. She wasn't after me. And there are some of those. Doggy, she has a word for you. She wanted to ask how Neeks is doing. Answered the troll. Haven't been on a bus since. Minot, North Dakota, man. I remember I met a woman and her father at Denver schools years ago. They were both drivers. She was from Minot. She was actually funny. I didn't have a thing for her, but she would crack us up with the things she would say. You talk about out there. Minot is literally out there. When it's winter, the wind is blowing and it's nothing but a blizzard. Kind of a crappy place to live. No trees, hailstorms, blizzards. Doggy's fishing. Yes, Amy, a deadly troll. Hey, we've all made mistakes, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Yeah, I traveled halfway around the world for that one. Then I went to Huntsville, Alabama in 2015 to meet a Puerto Rican. She was beautiful, but her mother was a mess, and her mother lived in the house, and she was literally bipolar. That the lady I was after said that. And she would interfere with every one of the relationships that her daughter had tried to have. And there were other things that showed up when I was there. The amount of chores that were in here yesterday surprised me. I don't, Michael. I have no interest. I just never had a desire for that. No, Michael's pretty dry. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't chew. I don't smoke weed or cigarettes. I'm one of the last of the dinosaurs, man. Literally, I remember when I was in Hong Kong and I was in the karaoke and the Filipinas come up to dance. Michael, do you drink? No. What? You're an American, you don't drink? Wow, I think I love you. True story. There's a guy in Spokane that drove bus with me. He met his wife in the Yahoo chat room, and they got married in Spokane. I said, you got a Yahoo wife? That's funny. Did you meet your wife on Instagram? All right, hurry back, Lynn. Hey, Jimbo, how are you? So the dating sites really work. I don't believe they're very successful. Guys pay all this money. If you want to see the messages, you have to pay. Screw that. I'm guilty. Years ago, I tried Craigslist because it was free. Oh boy. Oh boy. If you want to pay less than it costs for a circus ticket to see something better than the circus, get on Craigslist and go out on a date with some of the women on there. Oh, baby. I got some stories to tell. Woo! Craigslist is not the place to find true love at all. Neither is eHarmony, neither is Badu, neither is Plenty of Sharks. Plenty of Sharks is a waste of time. I think most of the women treat the date sites like a dang meat market. They're laughing at all the guys that are interested in them. After I met that girl in Huntsville, I said at 2015, that's it, I'm done with the dating sites. 2 years later, I met a gal on my Facebook named Gloria. She lived in Manila. She was very nice, and she sent me a friend request. I remember when I saw her pictures, I thought, boy, I bet you she's uppity. She wasn't. She was in some Facebook groups where they post puzzles and mind teasers. She was very smart. She was smarter than me on some of that dang teaser stuff and those math things. But they were fun. And I got to know her. And I said, you know what? I can't marry you. I'm not vising you, but I would like to meet you and date you and just come over on a vacation. She goes, I'd love to have you. So I stayed out there for 2 weeks, Valenzuela City, and that was the best dang trip ever. We had a good time. Her family was very kind to me. Lived in the village there for 2 weeks, and that was absolutely fun. $3,000 from Denver, round trip, plus the money I spent there, $3,000. Not bad. Then on the way back, had a 2-hour layover in Honolulu, ran into one of the crazies I worked with at Denver schools in the airport, calling my name. I'm like, there's no way somebody in Honolulu knows me. I turn around and somebody from Denver schools, one of the drivers. I said, what are you doing here? I was going to ask you the same thing. I said, I'm coming back from the Philippines. The Philippines? Yeah, you want to see pictures? She was with her significant other female lover. They spent more money on a week in Hawaii traveling first class. I asked how they liked the trip. They literally looked like two bumps on a log and they did not enjoy it. I got bang for my buck. Going to the Philippines, just that alone is awesome. The food, the sights, the smells. Forget Hawaii. It's overpriced. It's ridiculous. I'd rather go to an exotic village and meet the villagers and go to the dang tourist spots where you spend $300 a night for a stupid hotel. That's not going to happen, Robert. I don't do contacts because of my prescription, and I'm done with the short hair. It's too hot hair for that. I don't need sunburn and scalp burn. I like my hair. I feel more confident with it. I don't like the Caillou look. It fits me. I met a gal in Pueblo, Colorado. She was a paraprofessional in a classroom, redhead gal. Went down and saw her in Pueblo. She had a loft downtown Pueblo. Now that was nice. She was right by the Railroad Museum. We walked over there. I was walking on old train cars, steam engines. That was a blast. We walked along the Arkansas River. We made dinner together one night. One night I took her to the restaurant. But she liked to watch Seinfeld, Cars and Coffee. Remember that show? Seinfeld will call some actor, hey, it's Seinfeld, I'm in the neighborhood, you want to have some coffee? And he'd show up in a dang Austin Healey in some bizarre car. So we were watching that. That was pretty cool. We did not have sex. We, kissed or whatever. I stayed in a room. She had a spare room, and man, that was a cool loft. Exposed brick, the big beams. And it was so quiet downtown Pueblo. And she had this cat who come up on the bed. And I said, man, your cat likes me. Doggy. And we were friends for years, and then she went off the deep end. She moved to Beaufort, South Carolina, bought she called it a tree house, third floor condo. Nice place. And then she just, after a few years, got tired of it. She had wanted me to move out there. She dated this guy. Then she called me up to tell me she was tired of him. She was disgusted with him. Named all the reasons why. And I don't think 6 months, she kicked him out. He went back to Massachusetts. And she called me and said, we're going to get back together. I said, huh? I said, girl, I know you enough. I wouldn't do it. Mike, I wasn't rude to her. I just said, Jenny, you broke up with him, and all the things you complained to me about, none of that's going to go away. After we got off the call, she blocked me on Facebook. I'm like, so I blocked her number. Incidentally, I introduced her to a friend of mine in Boston. She ended up moving up there, trying to hit on him. I said, be careful. Then she admitted that she broke up with the guy a second time, was miserable in Boston. Oh boy, I tell you, Craigslist, man. Craigslist. Well, I thank her for the compliment. I didn't know that about Nika. Nika seems like she's all right. I thought Anika was interactive with other people in the room. Seemed like it. Love is in the air ever since Doggy's been around. He'll be catching a 747 to South Africa. Watch out, boys. Oh, gosh, I looked at trying to go to Zambia. 30 hours. I mean, you're looking at almost 2 days tied up on a flight. That's stupid. And 2 days back. And the way airlines have been running, and you get a flight canceled, oh, no. When I flew to Hong Kong, once you get to San Francisco, it's one shot from San Fran to Hong Kong. But you get to these other countries and it's connecting flight, connecting flight, connecting flight, waiting around 6 hours in an airport. Screw that. I'd rather be on a ship. I mean, that'll take time, but if I had money, I'd like to book a passage on a dang cargo ship. You can do that. You got to make reservations. I don't want to be on a cruise ship with all them people. I think it'd be fun to be on a working freighter and you got your own room. You eat dinner with the crew, and I'd be walking in the place I could walk. Man, if they had any Wi-Fi out there, I'd be streaming. It's me, Pacific, on the Pacific. That would be awesome. Doggy Soldier is fine. He has never been a problem. Da, 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 da. Hi, Heather. How are you? I think I am, Robin. What did I have tonight? I had chickpea flour noodle pasta, the rigatoni, and then the smooth ones. 1 pouch of jasmine rice and a bag of steamed vegetables, and then 1 can of tuna. And I used Italian seasoning, garlic, and salt, and some canola oil, and mixed it all up. And Michael goulash, good stuff. Yeah, we don't want to time out regulars, soldier, and moderators. We don't want to do that. If I see something, I'll address that. You have permission to time out people that are being butts that we don't recognize. What does that mean, soldier? I'm the mod, you're Columbia, Canada. Hey, Scott, welcome from BC. BC is a beautiful country. I've never been up there, but I've seen a lot of pictures and, travel stuff. I have a Discord. It's 77 Titanic 77. Everyone should go on a cruise at least once. I won one on the radio station contest. Food, stay, entertainment. No cooking, no cleaning. All right, what am I going to do to solve this problem here? All right, I have to consult with my cabinet, soldier. Sorry. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. I'm trying to chat, keep up with stuff, and I see there's a squabble going on. Hey, Selena, nothing. I took care of it. wave by. Ruth, don't you dare leave. There's a issue was going on, but it's going to stop right now. No, soldier. Council said no more. And I'm going to listen to council. Selena. Yeah, let's have fun again, Selena. Where do you live, Selena? What city or what state? Milton, Florida. Well, shoot. I'm in Augusta, Georgia. You're not that far from me. Where is Milton, though? Closer to Miami, Jacksonville. Where are you at? The power vacuum. No power vacuums. Yes. Barry is one of the best. He's a true Southerner. I don't know if you heard me. I told him about what happened at my job. That guy is reasoning me. He says, and he always calls me boy. He says, boy, you told the truth, and they can't handle it. He said, don't be worried about being fired. He said, they don't want to hear the truth. And you spoke the truth and you did it on your time, you'll find work. You'll find work. That guy's awesome. And he does a good job. He was telling me a story. He owns 180 acres out in Statesboro. And that's 2.5 hours away. And he was talking about his son, and his son's been a real dingleberry. Crazy stuff. I mean, this plumber is the kind of a guy I would have loved to have had as dad. He's just a good, he's what I would think of as good Southern boys. And solid, he's short, squat, 70 years old, solid muscle. And the guy's still going full bore. Unbelievable. Yeah, dying breed. He's not like the dopey Southerners you run into down here. But he's tough. He'll stand up. He was telling me about that the county drew it up, that he and another guy have shared access road, which is a right of way. And the other guy that owns a huge amount of property out there came up to him and said, who told you could use this road? He said, my paperwork. He goes, well, this is my road. He goes, no, it ain't. Ease of access. And the guy started getting threatening, and he got up out of his truck and said, I'm going to tell you something right now. You try to block me on this road, I got a tractor and I got a gun. So you want to play? You can go down to the county. Oh, the county, they're not afraid of me. I'm not afraid of them. And he goes, well, I got access. I'll show you the paperwork. And he said, he said he brought in a dump truck and dumped a bunch of dirt and tried to block it and put up a gate. He went and got his loader, moved all the dirt, busted the gate down and piled the dirt over it. And he said, gate's still under the pile of dirt and I can get down the road. He's not going to fool with me no more. I said, right on. That's awesome. You got some yahoos down here, man. I respect a man like that. He ain't out there trying to be macho, but when he needs to be, he don't back down. He don't start stuff, but he don't back down. And I said, that's a man. No, I grew up in California. All right, soldier. We need to drop this. Decisions made, court is adjourned. You're forgiven, soldier, but it's just leave it alone. Enjoy the chat. You don't need to be a moderator. Enjoy the chat. Take it on the run, baby. Take it on the run, baby. REO Speedwagon. I had that album once. High Infidelity. Man, I miss the old LPs. I remember when I get a new vinyl. I remember when yep, I'm a guy and I broke down and bought Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes. I love the music of that song. I remember that vinyl and you put that down on the spindle, put that needle on there, and I'm like, that is just good music. Yeah, the 80s were really good music. A lot of keyboards, a lot of good sounds. I like the South too. I don't like how hot it gets in Georgia. I want to go where there's fireflies. I don't see them in my yard here, and that's sad. I saw fireflies when I was in Michigan City, Indiana, years ago at a campground, KOA, and they were all over. And I'm like, look at all we were chasing them around. They are so cool. I saw them in Minnesota on the way to the cities one night. We were hitting them. They were hitting the bus windshield and leaving glow spots. It's like running into glow sticks. My whole windshield was lit up, and you didn't want to turn on the wipers and smear them. And I get on the radio. I said, is anybody seeing lights all over their windshield? And he goes, that's all I'm seeing, man. I'm getting fireflied. Oh, they've destroyed music now. And I'm not sorry to say this, but this garbage that they're coming out with all the profanity and the N-word, that ain't music, folks. That's circling the drain. Thank you, Vox. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Boston, I still get a kick out. I have to talk about Bar Harbor, Maine. The locals do not call it Bar Harbor. They call it Bar Harbor. That is a trip. Bar Harbor. Honey, where'd you pack the car? No, it's garbage, Selena. We grew up on music that was romantic, that sounded good. You could sing to it. You didn't have to be ashamed if your parents came into your bedroom and heard it. Robin, Bahaba. That's funny. I said, get off the sidewalk. Don't walk on the sidewalk. Yes, they do. I want to go to Bahaba in Poughkeepsie. That's funny. And down here, it's funny. It's not, I was expecting a lot of the twangy. It's more the white girls that talking the twang down here. That long drawn out, how y'all doing? I don't hear too much of it with the blacks, but some of the white girls, you hear that southern twang. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of that. I like the northern accents, New York, Long Island, Boston. That's good stuff, man. Hey Scott, how are you? Clam strips, that sounds great. Yeah, South Carolina, North Carolina, beautiful country. I went through there on my way here in 2019. Did not realize. Now, it's not like the Colorado Rockies, but the mountains in Carolina were impressive. I mean, I was driving through there, it was foggy and rainy. My old truck, I'm like, wow, I'm going up some grades. I bet you they got to chain up when it snows up here. It's pretty steep grades up in there. That's funny, Mr. E-Rock. I cannot have New England clam chowder because I'm allergic to a lot of stuff that's in it. But let me tell you, clam chowder is the bomb. All right, Vox, thanks for coming in. You have a good night. Yeah, that's right, Ryan. My neighbor speaks a dialect. that's very different. First time I met him, I'm like, I'm sorry, what? It took me to get used to his cadence. Gumbo. Yeah, and I can't have wheat flour, so I can't have gumbo, and gumbo's good. Oh, yeah, Smoky Mountains. I've been to Cooper's Rocks in West Virginia. Now, that's pretty. Appalachia is, they call it Appalachia. I like the sound of Appalachia better. What is it, Appalachia or Appalachia? Appalachia just sounds crappy. But the Appalachian Mountains are pretty. Absolutely. There's some people that will walk. I guess there's enough trail to walk the whole thing from one state to the other. My blood runs cold. My liberty has just been sold. My angel in the centerfold. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I don't know why, but that's going through my head. Blue Dust, how are you? I'm originally from Los Angeles, but live in Georgia. A whole 200 yards of the porta potty. That's classic. That's classic, Mob. Classic. Chowda. That's good, Blue Dust. All the way to Maine. That's, boy, now that'd be a walk. I read a book years ago in the Duluth Library called A Thousand Mile Summer. I can't remember the guy's name, but he started from the southern border in desert country and walked the entire 1,000-mile length of California. He walked through Death Valley, up the Panamint Mountains, through the Sierras, and cruised all the way up to northern, the border of Oregon. I said, that is awesome. And reading that book was a treat, talking about the wildflowers and the smell of the air and wildlife you'd see. It was good stuff. Y'all in the north, y'all. They do that down here. But I noticed here, every place the black guys say, you doing all right? You doing all right? You doing all right? That's what they ask me. You all right? I had to learn that. So now I do. You doing all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Some people say, all right? Vernacular. Every place has its own thing. Yep. When I lived in Duluth, some people would say, eh? This is what, 150, 170 miles south of Canada. Man, I'm so tired of these people. It puts the lotion on the skin. I'm going to put duct tape on your mouth. No, every state, every place has its own fingerprint. Golly. They say down here a lot, I'm fixing to leave, Mike. I'll catch you later. I'm fixing to leave. I'm fixing to make dinner. Well, I'm fixing to clock in. I'm fixing to do this. I've caught some of the blacks vernacular. Like I'll be on the road. I'm like, you need to get out the way. It's like, you need to get out the way, man. You're blocking the whole road. Move. Move out the way. Move out the way. Sheesh. Golly gee willikers. Not yet, Aaron. I had some plumbing stuff to do today. Got a project nailed that would have been hard to do when I was working, so Thank you, Aaron. Utah is beautiful. I'm not wild about the religious factor out there because I had a lot of that going on in Prescott. But Utah, Zion, oh my gosh, Zion, Bryce Canyon, beautiful. Lake Powell. Yeah, be all right. Yes. Blue Dust, where are you? I know I asked you, but I don't remember. Kamala's linguistics class. That ought to be a great, great class to attend. Sorry, couldn't resist a cheap shot. Cooking stream one day. There's an old song by Wings at the Sound of Speed, Paul McCartney. Cook of the house. Is it really, child? Cook of the house. Man, I remember when I was a kid and Silly Love Songs came out. I loved that song as a kid. Some people want to fill the world with silly love songs. And what's wrong with that? I need to know. So here we go again. Bum, 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 bum. I love you. That was good music. Hello, Angel. That was good music. I feel so old now. It seems like yesterday I heard that. I remember when I was living in LA, they had puka shell necklaces. I still don't know what a puka shell is. And I wanted a puka shell necklace and I never got one. And I was very upset about that. Puka shell necklaces were the big thing when I was in school. I didn't get into the Beatles, but I did like Wings and I like Paul McCartney and Lennon when they went solo. Earth below us, drifting. That was good music. That was a good song. Da 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 da. Running against the wind. Yes, Janice, I grew up on that. I remember hearing that when I was in Mammoth. It's so funny when I hear music, it takes me back to a place or a girlfriend that I was seeing. Woman, I can hardly express my mixed emotions and my thoughtlessness. Demon voice. Selena, good stuff. Good stuff. I tell you what, I talk about this a lot, but I love Gordon Lightfoot. If you could read my mind, love, what a story my thoughts would tell. I never saw it. I didn't want to. I heard a lot of commentary on it from a Christian point of view, and they said they thought it was blasphemy. Shauna! Man, I was wondering where you were. Remember the Shauna and Oz? All right, quick, folks. Test time. Let's do it. Let's go to the blast from the past. First person to print the answer in the room. Name the TV show that had Lenny and Squeaky in it. Go. Lenny and Squeaky. Let's do it. How fast can you type? Are you a texting queen or a texting king? Put your answer in the chat, folks. Come on, why the delay? Lavoine and Shoily, that's right, good job. All right, I'm going to give you one little line. What show? The minnow would be lost. That's it, folks. You don't get another chance. What TV show? Don't be cheating. No Googling. That's cheating. You got to name it off the top. Gilligan's Island. Good job. All right. And that goes to Child of God. Name the TV show. Dun 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 dun. Let me see. Did you win? Oh, you got it. You're the one that got it. I just saw Laverne and Shirley. Good job. Shauna's on it. Bonanza, bonanza. Look at everybody. That's awesome. Doggies, I don't know. All right, let me think. I got to do something a little bit hard. TV show that they would call him Jack the Ripper. 1980s. Go. Uh-oh. Three's Company. Mob's on it. Yes. TV show in the 80s. Two guys dressed as women to rent an apartment. It was all girls only. Gilligan's Island? No. Jack the Ripper. Bosom Buddies. This is a hard one. Nano, Nano, and Shazbot. TV show, please. Mork and Mindy, that's right. Kids TV show came out in 1967. And it had the Mach 3. Or was it the Mach 5? What TV show? It was one of my favorites. I would race home from school to watch it. Lady in Red. Speed Racer, yep. Trixie and Chimp Chim. That's funny. Lady in Red. She's dancing with me, cheek to cheek. Who sang that song? Now they're towing my car. There's a hole in the roof. Mob is killing it. That was a great song. Devil with a blue dress on. Now that one I'm unfamiliar with. Michael Bolton. Was that Crowded House? Okay, that's right. I got to think here. I was working in the lab till 8 one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. I don't remember that one, Angel. What is it, Doggy? What is it? He did the mash. It was the monster mash. Da-da-da mash. That was a good song. That song still stands the test of time. It was a graveyard smash. You playing? Ah, oh, Doggy. All right. It was a movie. 70s, I think. With a big hairy dog. And a guy that turned into that dog but would drive an ice cream truck when he was a man. Name the movie. I'm below 1990. You're born. Drove an ice cream truck, and then he turned into a dog. Are you serious? The Shaggy DA. Nobody remembers the Shaggy DA? That big white sheepdog? Shaggy dog. That was the Shaggy DA, the district attorney. It was a movie. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Mom has a sad story about that song. Inspector Gadget. Selena, you're not too young. Come on, I'll take you on. Take on me. Aha. The Outsiders. How many people remember The Land Before Time? No, I'm sorry, wrong one. The Land of the Lost, excuse me. Not Littlefoot. Baby Boss, hello. Aha was good. Stay golden, pony boy. Anybody remember The Land of the Lost? Nobody remembers that. The two guys with the girl, and they had to live in a cave, and T-Rex was always trying to eat them. That was a bizarre show. Vaguely. I'm trying to think. Name the two haunted house TV show sitcoms that were popular. Two of them. Da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-dun. Yeah, it was black and white. Or was it? No, I think it was color. Munsters, Addams Family, yep. The Addams Family started when Uncle Fester farted. The children are retarded. The Addams Family. All those beautiful songs we learned as children. Now go play in the street, children. Beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat some beans for every meal. Have you seen Wednesday? Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I think it was black and white originally. Farted through the keyhole and paralyzed the cat. Wow. Let me tell you something I've learned, and I can say this with all the authority vested in me, so help me God. When I used to watch TV in Mammoth, the cat would sit on my lap, and the cat gets right down and nestles in there and sitting there with its little feet. Ouch, scratch. But it'd nod off to sleep, and man, you'd smell something like cat. Cats have the worst silent but deadlies of any animal ever. I mean, it stinks. I'm like, cat, you're done. My sister's like, oh my gosh, did you do that? I said, no, it was a cat. Mine don't smell like that. Sing a song, Fester. I don't know the whole thing. The spooky and the cokey. Lurch, you rang. Yeah, I'm not going to have no more cats. I got burned out due to cat farts. All my nasal passages were seared. So we got to figure out. Anybody ever watch Hawaii Five-0? Uncle Finney. Oh, you got me. Hey, Liz, which one was Uncle Finney? Wow, Boondocks from 1910. I don't know at all. Dragnet, I vaguely remember. Remember Johnny Quest? How about Flipper? Anybody remember Flipper? All you heard was dolphin chatter the whole show. Flipper, Gentle Ben, the Bear, Lassie, Jeff's Collie, Andy Griffith Show, and then they even had a separate show, Mayberry RFD. That one didn't last as long. Remember Hazel, the black and white, the maid, Free Willy, the movie, yes. When you're with the Flintstones. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I live in a garbage can. I turned on the gas. I blew off my. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Ooh, ooh. Flipper was Lassie in Florida. Yeah, pretty much. That's accurate. Matlock. Yeah, good old Andy Griffith, man. Jimmy swam down a well. Flipper. Oh, my mother dressed me up as a devil and a bum, and I hated it every year. Columbo. Rambo. Oh, yeah, that's right, Janice. Oh my gosh, you got me on that one. Chips was one of my favorites back. I liked all the police and fire truck, and I liked all the car and truck shows, man. BJ and the Bear. Da 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 da. Blue jeans and better scenes. BJ McKay and his best friend Bear. Wah wah. Yeah, that big old cab over Kenworth. I used to think I wanted to be a trucker. That just looks so cool. And you know what's sad is that show was completely false. There were no beautiful women out there on the road. Oh my gosh. Lot lizards. Kojak, yep. Never saw Simon and Simon. Mom dressed you as Raggedy Andy? Really? Knight Rider, man. Hello, Michael. Kit. Yes, Michael. And that front end was so cool. Woo, the lights. We just thought that was so cool. The Phantom of the Opera was there inside your mind. Oh, I love Curious George books. The Man with the Yellow Hat, the Naughty Little Monkey. Corvette Summer. The $6 Million Man. Yes, Shauna. Shauna, come on, ask us some questions. Throw it out there, man. I never saw the Phantom of the Opera. I've always wanted to. I love the music. I bought the music a long time ago. Johannes' Boss Baby. I've seen it. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so free. What movie? That was such a fun song. I remember in the summer, I was out at the beach and staying at my aunt's house, and that song had come out, and that song in that summer was just pure fun. Yeah, that was like an upbeat summer. Great American Hero. Who's Louis Floorwax? Sesame Street. Won't you show me how to get to Sesame Street? Oh, no S on Boondocks. The ghetto cartoons. That's right. I forgot about that comic. Wizard of Oz was good. Well, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. The laugh. The Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man were all her relatives. I didn't know that all my life until later years. Did you know that? Oh, Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. Remember that song? I was in Judy Garland's house in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. I took a school bus trip up there and toured the house. Very cool. Yeah. Now, those lady actresses were beautiful back in the day. Jean Harlow, Hepburn, Garland. Those women were naturals, man. They weren't glopped with all the makeup and detox, Botox, and breast tox, and they were real women. Beautiful women. Did you see on Facebook, Janice, they've got a theater now, and they're showing that, and it's like a circle, and it feels like, and the wind blows in there, and it feels like you're in the Kansas tornado. It's a trip. Oh, I used to love Green Acres. Arnold the Pig, man. He was the remote control. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Zsa Zsa Gabor slapped a cop one day. Bump, 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 bump. Fresh air. Bump, bump, bump. Diesel smells. Bump, 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 bump. Get off the sidewalk. Father Dowling. I liked Monk. That was one of the later shows I saw. Monk was awesome. That was a good show. OCD Monk. MacGyver was my favorite. Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Oh, Shauna Monk was good stuff. Remember when Zsa Zsa Gabor slapped a cop? Mr. Ed. A horse is a horse, of course, unless you're a horse, of course. The Little Toaster, the Blues Clues. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Charlotte's Web was a good movie. I cried on that. Angel, I'm so sappy. I cried on Charlotte's Web. I read the book too, way back. Charlotte Webb and the pig. Yeah. When the spider died, I was, oh, that sucked. That sucked. My favorite part of that movie was that stupid rat Templeton. The fair is a fair, and I'm all smart as bar, smart as bar. He's being a pig and gets all. And the end of the movie shows him trotting off with his wife and all these baby rats. What a pig. He was such a pig. I never saw Mice and Men. I've heard of it. Anybody read the book Dune or Watership Down? I never read those two. They were popular when I was in school. I only read one of the trilogy, and that was The Hobbit. Pet the rabbits, George. Mice and Men. Man, we had to read Edgar Allan Poe. His stuff was absolutely depressing. Hey, Kindly, how are you? That name it takes a minute for me to get it right. Could you kindly excuse me? Pardon me. Do you happen to have any grape upon? Shakespeare, yes. Macbeth, we had to read that in junior year English. Is this the handle to my hand? Dragnet, hey, Fred. Oh, got you. Shakespeare, yes. Are you really, Shauna? Like Romeo and Juliet. King Lear. You know who I liked was Hemingway. The Old Man and the Sea is one of my favorite stories. The guy that caught this huge fish and the sharks tore it all up. Do you really, Shauna? I'm going to have to read that stuff. For whom the bells toll, islands in the stream. Hemingway was an eccentric man. His house still stands on the Keys. And he had 6-toed cats, and they still breed them. 6 toes, all feet. Were you really? That had to be something to see that. He was an interesting man, for sure. Was it? Well, his daughter Muriel's still alive. What is she doing these days? The U.S. Open tennis. That start today? She runs his estate. So does she live on the property? Really? She must live in the area. Never saw some like it hot. Got you, Shauna. Thank you, Angel. It's the real deal, too. Take a trip beside the ocean. Da 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 da. Moonlight. Feels right. That was a one-hit wonder. Love that song. I remember they playing that when that came out in LA, and that is out of Atlanta, Georgia. So is Mungo Jerry. In the summertime, I got women on my mind. Babe Station. Never saw it, baby boss. All right, let's have a history test. First one to name it in the room. A big dirigible crash that made history in the United States. Name it. Let's see how fast people are on history. Yes, great movie. Hindenburg, boom, there you go. That thing was a trip, Janice and Mob. The Hindenburg actually had rooms in it and pretty posh. I had no idea all that stuff was in there. He flew that thing right over Torrance, California. I learned that by Louis Zamperini, the book Unbroken. The guy that got pulled into World War II and the Japs abused him. But he was laying on the grass in the backyard in Torrance, and the Hindenburg went right over Torrance, where I'm from. It's hard to believe that that thing just cruised over the United States. That's a trip. Talk is cheap over satellite. Calling America. Calling America. Yeah, I think I heard something about that, baby. Were you really? I wasn't. I was used to them in LA. They had all the Goodyear blimps fly over the stadiums for sports. Blimpy the clown. Yeah. Blimps, man. Dirigibles. This book I'm reading right now is about one that was 16th century with a gondola underneath it. Well, folks, never seen or heard of that, PB&J. Never. I know, I'm trying to think. Got to think of something that somebody can't Google. Of course, you can Google anything. Mr. E-Rock. Well, that's what happened at Hindenburg when it hit that mast. And was that New Jersey? That baby blew up. Name the creature that is the largest animal in the world today. What is it? My ex-wife. Oh my gosh, Mom, that was funny. Whale, but what kind? Blue whale, CB gets it. And he gets to spin that wheel for $350. Blue whale for $350. Should I be Alex Trebek? Who's the next contestant on the Chat of Fortune? That's funny. True or false? U-boat was close enough to an Atlantic coastal beach that the periscope could see Americans sunbathing on the beach. World War II. Yeah, well, I just said creature. Well, yeah, but I said creature. You got my point, child. Come on, don't be like that. I actually read that a U-boat was close enough to, I don't know what state it was in, but they were watching people on the beach in America. I can't believe those things had that much of a range. It's not like they're going to resurface and fuel in the US. Yes, CB, I'm losing it. It's time for me to go get some Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want stuff in my eye. All right, folks. Everybody, all you ladies, gentlemen, have a good evening. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Shut eye country. That's pink eye. Yeah, that's crap. I've had that, and that is nasty. Amy, have a good one. Boondock, PB&J, Baby Boss, Selena, Shauna, all you ladies out there, Mr. E-Rock Mob, Untersea Boot, true, yes. The Hunt for Red October, by the way, I'll close that. Outstanding movie. Loved it. All right, folks, see you later. John Boy, Elizabeth, Night Doggy. Selena, you are a lady. All right. Till next time, be safe.